Hello everyone, so welcome back to the lecturer. Alright, so now we have talked about how do we want to get input. So we have went through some basics. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to go through is method. Okay, in object-oriented programming, method is also actually known as the functions. Okay, so don't confuse your students. All right, in methods, we have two different type of methods. Okay, we have instance method and we also have static methods. All right, so it may sound a bit confusing. Okay, so what is actually instance? What is actually means by static? Okay, we know that instance actually equivalents to the word objects. Okay, so instance method is actually a method that belongs to the object itself, means that that particular method is associated with the objects. That's why we call it instance method. All right. The next one is what we call as a static method. Okay, is the another way around. Okay, so a static method is actually a method that belongs to the class. Okay, so you can invoke the static method without actually having the object. Okay, so you can directly call it by using the class name. Okay, so that is the static method. Whereas for instance method, we will need to invoke it by using the objects. Okay, so that is the difference between instance method and also static method. Okay, so here is the theory, and then we are going to move on into practical part. Okay, so we are going to look into what is actually instance and what is actually static methods in terms of coding. All right, student? All right, so as usual, so let's just create a new project. Okay, so Java applications, we are going to call it, I don't know, we're going to call it Apple. Okay, we all love Apple. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new Java class. Okay, let's call it test method, right? Okay, so in this methods, in this class here, we are going to test both instance and also static method. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with instance method first, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to have a method, okay, that is going to perform addition for me. Okay, addition of two numbers. Okay, so intx and also inty. Okay, so in this method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up x and y. Okay, right, so here is our instance method. Okay, whereas creating a static method is slightly different, whereas we have to add in the keyword called static. Okay, so let's say this one we call it a subtraction. Okay, intx and also inty. Okay, return x minus y. Okay, so now we have this one, which is our instance method. Okay, and the one with static keyword obviously is our static method. Okay, so now how are we going to invoke these two methods? Okay, let's just start with let's just start with our static method first. Okay, let's go ahead and print out the value. Okay, so the subtraction is, okay, so how we invoke static method, like what we said just now. So static method can be invoked by using the class name itself. So our class name here is actually test method. And then next thing is dot subtraction. Okay, let's say we want to do 5 minus 3. Okay, so this is how you are going to invoke the static method. Okay, because the static method itself is actually the method that belongs to the class. Okay, so we invoke it by using the class name. Okay, whereas for instance method, we cannot directly invoke it by using the class name. Okay, because as we can see, we don't see any addition method here. Okay, we don't see the method called addition here. So what we need to do if we want to invoke the instance method, okay, is of course that we need to create an object. Okay, so test method. Okay, and then once we have the what we call the test the object, so what we need to do is, okay, so we can make use of the object. Okay, let's just print out the message first. Is, okay, concatenate with, okay, so test method, okay, we are using the object name here, and then we invoke the addition. So let's say 3 plus 5. Okay, so this is how we invoke both instance method and also static method, and something extra here. Okay, so let's say if I'm going to use this, okay, if I'm going to invoke this once only in my class or in my program, so what can I do is, instead of writing 2 rows here, okay, so you have a shorter way to write it. Okay, so let's say addition is, okay, instead of creating a name object, so what we can do here is we can call the anonymous object. We can create the anonymous object. Okay, so let's say for this one is 5 plus 5. Okay, so this is also the another way of creating the method. Okay, to create the object to invoke the method. Okay, all right, so this is what we call as an anonymous object. So object without a name. Okay, so I use it once and then I throw it away. Okay, I throw it into my garbage collector. Okay, so let's try to run it. Okay, as you can see, the subtraction, the answer is 2, because what are we doing just now is 5 minus 3. Okay, so the answer is 2. Addition here, 3 plus 5, the answer is 8. 5 plus 5, the answer is 10. Okay, so students, so I hope that you learned something from this video. So the next video, we are going to talk about overloading methods. Right, student? See you again in the next video. Thank you very much. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.